Welcome to this teaser for our article on retail analytics. I'm Robert Rodekerk, and this is joint work with Nicole Diorasius and Andres Musale. Retail has seen data become much more widely available over the past 2 decades. It has also seen the advent of new business models that are very data-centric, such as omnichannel retail. These 2 developments have increased the call for using analytics to make sense of these data in retail. Now, what have we as academics contributed to this field of retail analytics? And how far has practice come? Those are the 2 questions that we set out to answer in this study, and at the same time combined with our ambition to draw up an agenda for future research. Now, after reading our paper, academics will walk away with a better understanding of the field of retail analytics, but also the most promising ways forward. Practitioners, on the other hand, will have more insights into how to make analytics work in their organization, removing the barriers and benefiting from the enablers. At the same time, they will understand the potential, but also the challenges that come with using new data sources, especially big data. Now, when we study published work in the field of retail analytics, 9 decision areas emerge. In the top, you see the more advanced or most mature ones that we've been studying for more than 2 decades now. And at the bottom, you see the more emerging ones. They either emerge because of the advent of online retail and omnichannel retail, such as returns handling, or because we started using new data sources, such as video analytics and traffic counters, which have spurred a lot of research in the domains of customer service operations and employee management. Now, when we use correspondence mapping to look at the relationship between the keywords used in articles and the type of analytics employed in it, 3 clusters emerge. In the bottom right, you see the least advanced analytics, diagnostics, that try to make sense of why something happened. So they're backward looking. And you see that the young decision areas are highly represented here. When we go a bit more advanced and look towards the future, the first type of analytics we encounter are predictive analytics. And they answer the question, what will happen? But ultimately, we do not want to know what will happen, what we want to know what we should do to make something happen. And those are prescriptive analytics that you see at the bottom left here. Now, another interesting observation here is that machine learning is very closely positioned next to predictive analytics, which probably makes a lot of sense. But in our article, we also explain the potential of machine learning for both diagnostic analytics as well as prescriptive analytics. Now let's move to practice. In order to get a better understanding of the state of practice, we interviewed 24 companies, practitioners, senior practitioners responsible for analytics or that had something to say about analytics. They represent different geographies and different sectors. Out of these interviews, the image emerged that across the board, analytics in retail is mostly backward-looking, heavily relying on reports and on dashboards. And when probing a bit more as to why that's the case, 6 categories of barriers and enablers emerge. So barriers for the companies that admitted that they hadn't come so far, and enablers for the ones that were on the frontier. And you see those here, and in our paper, we discuss each of those 6 in great detail. But let me just illustrate 2 of them. In terms of organizing for analytics, it seems to make sense to have a central hub that oversees all the analytics initiatives, and at the same time a decentral embedding in the business functions to make sure that the analytics is relevant and decision-driven. And decision-driven is our second recommendation. Analytics should always start from the decision and then look for the most appropriate data to go with it, instead of the other way around. Want to know more about the distinction? Please read our paper. Now, when looking forward, what we should be studying, we identify 4 promising avenues. The first one is that we could study new decisions that our practitioners raised. We could also be using more advanced types of analytics, especially for the younger decision areas, more forward-looking. Leveraging new data sources, especially big data, is another promising avenue. And we talk in great length about the types of big data becoming available or already available in retail. And finally, applying more advanced methods. So causal machine learning, Bayesian statistics are things we describe in great detail in the paper as a promising avenue. Now, we have a lot of people to be thankful for in getting this study done, and they're listed here on the slide. So thank you for helping us out here. If you're interested in the paper, here it is. with a QR code. How fitting when you talk about analytics. I would like to thank you for your attention. I hope we've raised your appetite to read the paper.